Hello, and thank you so much for clicking and for watching this video. Apologies for the late upload of this video. Last night it finished Manchester United 9, Southampton 0. I still cannot believe what I am seeing. I still cannot believe the scoreline. It is unbelievable. But I'll tell you why this reaction video has been uploaded a lot later than my videos are normally uploaded. So I recently started a new job, which means that I have to be up at 5:45, and of course I don't get home usually till 5 o'clock, sometimes after 5 o'clock. So last night, of course, I went through my usual daily routine, and then I got in and I had another video that I needed to edit for someone. I was helping them with that video. So of course I get in from work, I get straight down to the edit. I finished that around 6:30. Then I put my tea on, and then, for those that are asking, it was a lovely jacket potato, some fish, bit of cod, and some roast veg, a little bit of mayo. Sit down to watch the game. 8 o'clock. I've had my tea, and my eyes just suddenly it hit me. It hit me. I got the dreaded nodding dog, and my eyes were sort of, and it's a horrible feeling. You just cannot fight nodding dog, and that has not happened to me in a really long time. So obviously, I have the combination of getting up really early, getting out of the house early, going to work all day, doing all that good stuff, enjoying your job, then getting in, then doing this other job, this editing job, then cooking a lovely tea. It was a lovely tea, by the way, and then you just go, and once the eyes go, that's it. So I managed to make it up to the second goal, and then I was gone. And then at some point, I sort of woke briefly, and it was 5, and then tried to stay up again, and my eyes were gone. And I woke up at around 11:15, and I've got about 17 texts from my friends, from my dad as well. Who's of course one of my best friends anyway. And you know, I've missed the game. It's 9-0. I go onto Twitter. 9-0. What? Is it? Is it still a dream? I'm going to wake up and I've only missed 5 minutes of the game. No, Manchester United did beat Southampton 9-0. So, of course, getting into there, I couldn't just record a reaction video based on the highlights. I had to go back and rewatch the game in its entirety. And Manchester United were worth the win. They were absolutely outstanding. And it'd be easy for me as a Manchester United fan to sit here and tell you what you would, tell you about who scored all the goals, how good we were, how good the fullbacks were, how outstanding Luke Shaw was, how brilliant Wan-Bissaka was, all that good stuff, how devastating Martial was when he came on, how positive Ollie's changes were, and how United were just absolutely ruthless. And for me, as good as we've been recently, I know we've had that blip, that loss last week to Sheffield United, and of course that really disappointing 0-0 with Arsenal. Even though we've been winning games prior to that, I do feel like we've not been scoring, goals in terms of where we dominate games and kill teams off. And a lot of people will say, Southampton were down to 9 men. They were down to 10 men from very early on. I think it might have been 78 seconds, but correct me if I'm wrong. So down to 10 men very early on, and then Bednarak sent off late in the game, and United capitalised and went on to score more. I could talk about all these positives for Manchester United, but I don't really feel like I would be saying anything different than what anybody else has said. United were outstanding last night. They were devastating, they were ruthless, they were clinical. And of course, a lot of people, like I say, will say Southampton were down to 10 men and then 9 men or whatever. But, we've seen teams struggle to break a team down when a team loses a player. A lot of the time, that depleted team, will sit there, usually, and it's up to the other team to break them down. But Manchester United were ruthless, and they did it, and they deserve a lot of credit. And you're thinking 3 or 4 nil against 10 men. That's good, but nine, like it's not many teams. It's 26 years since Manchester United set that record by beating Ipswich Town 9-0 at Old Trafford. Of course, Leicester beat Southampton at St Mary's 9-0. And of course, Southampton recovered from that, but they've done it again. They've lost 9-0 again. And that's why I think it's probably, as much as I would love to sit here and talk about all those things, talk about Manchester United, Manchester United, Manchester United, my team, talk about all the positives, Cavani, Rashford, all that stuff, Fernandez, but McTominay, what a finish, what a performance. I don't think I can do that really any differently or any better than any other United fan out there or football fan out there, because by now you've probably already seen United getting all the plaudits, and rightfully so. But let's talk about Southampton. Let's talk about what's happening to Southampton right now. Now, a couple of months ago, I made a video saying that I thought that Southampton were the best team in the league, and I think at that moment in time they were, in terms of in terms of teams to watch in the league, in terms of performance, in terms of consistency, in terms of the defensive partnership between Bednarak and Vestergaard, in terms of just their attitude and the performance and the consistency. I thought they were, and I stand by that if I'm looking at Southampton at that moment in time. And right now, they're certainly not the worst team in the league, but something has gone wrong with Southampton. And I don't know if it's fatigue or if it's all these injuries, because every time I do a video about Southampton in any game, whenever I'm talking about, I always seem to be talking about Vestergaard, because I'm a big fan of Vestergaard, and I do believe that Bednarak and Vestergaard are the best, or were the best defensive pairing in the league up until Vestergaard's unfortunate injury, and he was scheduled to be back obviously a few days ago, but that's not happened. And would he have made a difference to the game last night? I think he would have. I think his defensive work is really good, and his relationship, his partnership with Bednarak really flourished in the early months of this season. But now Southampton have just they've obviously weren't confident getting into that game last night. I think they were really confident after beating Liverpool, but I think Leicester knocked the stuffing out of them with that 2-0 win. That was a really good performance by Southampton, but lacking a little bit of belief and missing key players again. And it's and Arsenal last week losing 3-1 at home to Arsenal. Probably should have beaten Arsenal in the league at the Emirates a few months ago. Obviously, they beat Arsenal in the FA Cup, but so they're going well still in the FA Cup. But I was thinking, probably a month ago, I was thinking Southampton genuine challengers for the Europa League, for a Europa League spot this season, and the wheels have really come off now. And Southampton fans, I'm sure, will be looking at this at the moment and thinking, well, the last time we lost 9-0, we lost the next two games, but then we went on an incredible run, and it was a really good second half to the season. And I'm sure that they'll be hoping or thinking that could happen, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. A 9-0 loss will knock the stuffing out of you. They did incredibly well to recover from that. Hassan Hudl's job definitely was on the line, and they've been a breath of fresh air to the league. Second half of last season, really good. First half of this season, really good. But I think they struggled against Manchester City in that game, but they were going along okay. A few clean sheets, big win over Liverpool, and they've got that little bit of momentum still. But all that momentum now has just gone, and that result last night, I think it could really derail their season. I am now seriously questioning whether Southampton can make a genuine push for the Europa League next season, because Yes, they were down to 10 men for most of the game and then 9 men towards the end of the game, but losing 9-0 is just going to leave those players deflated. There's already a fragility about that defence now. Up until a few weeks ago, like I said, clean sheets, a few clean sheets in a row, consistency. They lose to Leicester, then they lose at home to Arsenal in the league. Now they've lost this game. I just don't know where Southampton are as a team at this moment in time. Make no mistake about it, if they finish in the top 10, if they finish ninth, that's a good season for them. But considering where they were last month or a couple of months ago, it would be a massive disappointment because their performances were so good. The level of performance, the level of fitness within the team, everyone was buying into what Hasenhüttl was doing. There's no doubt in my mind that they are still a very good team. And for me, I was concerned about this game because when you go into a game and people are just talking about the other team having injuries, I always think that your own team or manager can potentially, or your fans can underestimate the team with all the injuries. And Southampton just fell apart. They imploded. And Manchester United were ruthless. But as good as Manchester United were, Southampton have to do better. I'd be very interested to see what happens now with them as a team. This is their first real blip of the season. And you know what? If you'd have told Southampton fans that they'd have accrued the amount of points that they have at this moment in time, before the season began, I'm sure they'd be really happy. I'm sure they'd. But it must be frustrating for Southampton fans because to be playing as you are now, to be seeing what you've seen, and to have seen what you've seen last night, you think it's a one-off against Leicester, but now to go to Old Trafford and lose 9-0, you think just shut up shop, and it is a stain on their season really because they've had a very good season, some very good results, and really good performances this year, this season, but it's a big couple of weeks now for Southampton. Obviously, still in the FA Cup, but if they want to have any, if they've got any real ambitions about making the Europa League places, of making a Europa League place, then they've got to turn this around. I don't know when Vestergaard's back, but they need him back. They need him back soon, and maybe having that kind of player back will give them that confidence. Obviously, but Bednarak suspended as well. He got a straight red. There were some controversial VAR decisions, but that's another video for another time. So I mean VAR. I have real concerns about VAR and the current state of things like the offside rule at the moment. But again, that's, as I say, that's another video for another time. I'm sure we could sit here all night talking about VAR, but so like a lot of it is to do with obviously interpretation, and I don't really want to get into talking about Stockley Park and my feelings on that, my feelings on VAR in being used at certain grounds in certain competitions, being used only at certain points. So like that's not something I really want to get into because I've I could get quite angry in it, and I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be an angry person, but so yes, regrettably I missed the game last night in its entirety, but I obviously got in today and sat down had some dinner and rewatched the game in its entirety. And Manchester United ran out 9-0 winners, and now they've got a massive game against Everton. For Southampton, huge pressure now. They've got to respond in the next game. Big couple of weeks for them if they want to make it into the Europa League. A lot of games tonight to look forward to. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. And again, I'm so sorry for the delay in uploading this video. If you haven't already subscribed, why not subscribe? Leave me a like. And of course, leave any thoughts, comments, and feedback on this video or any of the other videos. I've also got a video that I posted a few days ago called Low in Lockdown. So if you want to give that a watch, it's something a little bit different. And it might help you if you are going through, if you're struggling with lockdown or COVID or any of that, the current situation. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.